Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing so-called vaccine tourism. Folks have been talking a lot about this with respect to going to the USA, and as you can tell from the title, I would urge folks to just take a breath, examine the situation fully, and assess where you stand before making a lot of irrevocable commitments, especially with your money. So, to start off this video, let's go ahead and quote from the Bangkok Post. It's bangkokpost.com. Article is titled, Thais Warned About Vaccine Tourism to U.S. Quoting directly, Thais seeking to get free COVID-19 vaccines as part of tour packages to the United States should contact the foreign ministry first before paying, since not all states offer the service, according to the foreign ministry. Yeah, a lot going on here. And I would even urge, I'm not saying the foreign ministry does not know their business, but the United States is 50 separate sovereign states under one federal government. I think Thais and maybe a lot of outsiders outside the United States may not fully comprehend just how different things are from one state to the other in the U.S. You can have states that border each other that are completely moving in the opposite direction, sort of from a paradigm standpoint. Quoting further, spokesman Tani Sangrat said on Tuesday before making the decisions, buyers should check the regulations in the states they plan to go to since the situation is still fluid. In general, people age 16 and more who live or have legally entered the U.S. can seek COVID vaccination free of charge. I'm going to temper that here in a minute. However, the criteria and procedures differ in each state. And yeah, the devil is in the details on that. So again, depending on the state you go to, there may or may not be even vaccines. I'm not saying they're unavailable. I'm just simply saying different states have different protocols for distribution. So it may not, I notice we see this a lot in immigration. People seem to think that the world is going to operate on their schedule. So if they have 2 weeks in America and they run to state X, whatever you want to call it, and try to get their free COVID vaccine, they're in a line and it takes 4 weeks in that state to get that vaccination. Or they get to a state that doesn't do it for foreigners, for example, depending on the circumstances. Again, these are things that can come up here. Or they may say we're not going to give free vaccines to non-residents, of the state or of the United States, depending on circumstances. Non-residents of the state, that might be problematic from a constitutional standpoint, but that may not apply to folks who aren't permanent residents of the USA. The purpose of this video and the reason I'm making another contemporaneously with this one where we discuss tourist visas to the US, specifically in this context, is, there's a lot of people out there. I think that I do believe people are acting in good faith. I want to be clear on that. But there can be people out there that can be a little overeager for example, to sell a tour package. And they may kind of just gloss over all the little details that may be associated with one getting into a country and dealing with, for example, getting on this vaccination queue or whatever. As we've seen, Thailand has had issues with respect to the logistics of this. Europe is having issues with respect to the logistics of this. So presuming that just getting on a plane and going to, someplace in the United States and it's all going to go smoothly, I don't think that's a very prudent presumption. And I think it's probably a good idea for those who are looking into this to seriously consider getting some professional legal guidance, because understanding the nuances of this is a good idea before making irrevocable decisions.